Thank you to the Outman Foundation and the Horace W. Goldsmith Foundation for helping make the PROJcast possible.
Welcome to our show. Join our flow. It's the 52nd Street PROJcast.
From the heart of Hell's Kitchen, this is the PROJcast,
a podcast created by the community at the 52nd Street Project. We are a nonprofit in New York City that partners kids in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood with adult volunteers to create original art together.
I'm Jayla, a project member.
And I'm Garrett Kim, program director here at the project. So, Jayla, today we are going to look at one of our programs that you did 2 years ago.
Storytelling.
Exactly. Do you want to do the honors of explaining what the class is to our listeners out there?
Storytelling is basically 8 kids writing real stories from their own lives.
Exactly. And you're telling these stories completely from memory, which is an interesting challenge. There's no notes, there's no scripts. A lot of what we do here is creative, right? You're creating characters and you're creating stories. So to tell something personal is also a new challenge that we introduce in this program.
Yeah, it's a lot. And today's episode features a bunch of those stories told by project members like me.
Do you remember how you felt, Jayla, before you got up and told your story?
I was really nervous, believe it or not. You never know how the crowd is going to respond to you.
Yeah, and how about afterwards?
I was glad. I made a lot of people laugh, and my goal every day is to make someone laugh.
That's a great goal.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. We have a bunch of stories to share with you all today, and we are going to start with the story that Jayla shared during our very first storytelling performance. It's called When Trouble Happens.
One Saturday afternoon, me and my mom were downstairs relaxing, and she had told me to go upstairs and take my dog out of its cage. So I had walked upstairs and started walking to the cage. And my dog, he is the cutest thing in the world. He is like 2-3 months. He's a pit bull. He has hazel and white spots all over him. He has really floppy ears. So as I was unlocking the cage, about to open it, he burst out of the cage and started running around the whole upstairs. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I have to get this dog back in the cage before my mom comes upstairs and takes my phone away. So he's running around the wall that divides the kitchen and the living room. And while I start trying to chase him around the whole living room and kitchen. So I've chased him about like 15 to 20 times. And I noticed now that he's peeing while he's running. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, what is wrong with this dog? So I'm still trying to chase the dog, trying to avoid the spots that have pee everywhere. And just as I'm about to catch him, he runs under the table and starts peeing under the table. So I had this really nice idea to go around the table and trick him. So just as I was about to turn the corner of the table, I slipped on a little puddle of pee and banged my head on the table and fell backwards. And I was in like so much pain. My head really hurt. So meanwhile all of this was happening, he was still peeing under the table. And when he heard that I like fell backwards, he stopped peeing, came over to me and started licking my face and started jumping on top of me. So I'm saying to him that I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna like start cleaning this up because you might get me in trouble. So I picked him up and threw him in the cage. Not that hard, but it was soft. So I locked the cage, making sure it was locked. And I said, one thing down, another thing to go. So I started grabbing Clorox wipes and bounty paper towels and started like cleaning up all the pee that was all over the wall and all the floor. So just as I was like about in the middle or about to finish cleaning, my mom had started walking upstairs. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to start hurrying up and hiding all the bags of Clorox wipes and bounty paper towels. So just as I'm like trying to hide the bags of garbage, she's at the top of the steps. She's like, Jayla, why does it stink up here? And right then and there, I knew that I was in so much trouble and that she was going to take my phone away. So she had told me to go downstairs and take a shower, and she would clean up the mess. So I went downstairs and took a shower. And by the time I finished taking a shower and walked upstairs, it smelled like strawberries because she just finished cleaning it. And I was like walking past the cage, seeing that the cage was like all clean and stuff, and he was like sleeping. So I walked into the kitchen, and my mom, she was standing there with my phone in her hand. She said, "You're not getting this phone back for a long time." And then in my mind, I'm saying, no wonder his name is Trouble. He always gets me in trouble.
Oh my gosh, I love that story, Jayla. Well done. What do you think about that story now, 2 years later?
I honestly don't know why I told that story. I'm really embarrassed. Oh my god.
I absolutely loved it. I feel you painted such a good picture in all of our minds, and you're just such a charismatic person on stage. So you could tell a story about paint drying, and I think it would be interesting. Oh my gosh, amazing.
So now we're going to listen to Beyonce's story. Not that Beyonce, project member Beyonce. About starting out at a new school. Here's her story. New day, new me.
So hi everyone, how's your night? This started my first day of middle school. It was like I was so nervous. I was like, what am I gonna do? Are they gonna like me? Are they gonna love me? Are they gonna hate me? Are they gonna throw me out? Are they gonna do something horrible? I don't know what's gonna happen. I was kind of nervous because I got out of my, like, the school I was in for almost, I think, 7 years. And it was like, this feels so weird. Like, I've never been somewhere so different. So I started preparing myself, getting my clothes on, grab my book bag, I run out of the house. I wanted to be the first one at that bus. And get up on the bus, because it was already there. I got there on time. And, minutes later, I'm in Battery Park. And I'm like, whoa, Battery Park, Hell's Kitchen, Battery Park, Hell's Kitchen. Battery Park was a whole different story. Like, Battery Park were these modern buildings and these beautiful houses. And it was like, I've never seen anything like this. And Hell's Kitchen is this basic place filled with these old, houses. It's like, it's just so different. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. So I start walking and I go, whoa! Because the school I was going to was humongous. It was like a block wide. 8 floors. And a solar panel? A solar panel? What kind of school has a solar panel? Like, the school I was going to could barely afford anything sometimes. But this school could give anything out. It's like a solar panel. So I take a deep breath. I walk into the school, and I'm suddenly surrounded by awkwardness because everyone's talking with their friends. I'm the lonely one in the middle, of course. And this girl approaches me, and she says, "Are you Beyonce? I'm gonna help you throughout the day, get you through your classes and everything." So she leads me to the stairs, and we go up the stairs. And will I tell you, those stairs were long, 7 floors. Oh, but they couldn't let us use the elevators, right? So, we're going up the stairs, And I'm walking through this hallway, everything's different, of course. So I approach this classroom, and I get a little nervous. I'm like, and everyone's looking at me, like, get in the classroom. And then she pushes me. I'm like, hey, what was that for? And she was like, get in the classroom. And I was like, where do I sit? And they were like, there. Everyone screamed. I was like, okay, you don't have to pressure me. So, we get explained where we're supposed to be and the periods of classes. And, we were getting to know the school. I mean, they knew the school already, obviously. So, what do they do on the first day of school? Explain everything. So let's fast forward. So when I get into the hallway, I get out of class, I'm like, oh, finally. And I'm walking down the hallway, and I suddenly, hear someone in back of me, and they're like, look at those girls' shoes. They look horrible. So I was like, oh, hi, my name is Beyonce, and who are you? And he was like, Jack Farber. I was like, hi, Jack Farber. Nice to meet you. Oh, I heard you said something about my shoes. My opinion about you is, look at that pimple on your head. So there were a bunch of girls in back, and they were like, say what? And they were like, I was like, yeah, say what? So I kept on walking, and the girl who was walking with me told me, those are one of the meanest people in this school. And I was like, oh, well. So we were going down for lunch. And I remember seeing the cafeteria. It was humongous. It was bigger than this room, wider than this room. No lie. So, I'm in the lunch line. And suddenly I approached this machine that you had to put your code in. But I didn't have any code. So I'm like, what code? And they're like, the code. And I'm like, I don't know what code. And everyone starts to scream. I'm like, I don't know the code. So I freak out, and I run out of the line, and I run to the table. So I was like, no lunch for the day, whatever. And my friend was like, why didn't you get any lunch? Because everyone was pressuring me to put the code, but I don't know the code. So, fast forward to the end of the day, I remember, being a little worried about the school. But I remember, don't let anyone judge you for who you are, Because at the end, what you think about yourself is what I'm like, what you to describe it, it kind of means don't let anyone change you. That's who you are. The end.
She did an amazing job. Thanks, girl.
Yes, thank you, Beyonce. And now for something completely different. A story about the scariest thing that could possibly happen on Halloween. Here's project member Milen with Hat Trick or Treat.
October 31st, 2014. And I'm talking to you right there. That's Halloween, and that's last year if you didn't know. So it's Halloween, we're trick-or-treating, knock on doors, give me candy, thank you, hopefully not get poisoned. So I get home, I open my bag, and there's not as much as candy as I thought there would be. And I think to myself, there's always a next year. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Cinco de Mayo, whatever you call it, passes by. It's a new year, October 31st, 2015. And I'm still talking to you right there. It's still Halloween and a new year. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. We have a hockey game. It's warm-ups, and I'm a goalie. I'm blocking shots, saving shots, doing everything I can. I'm looking like a pro. Warm-ups end. It's first period. Right off the bat, our centerman passes it to our defenseman. Defenseman takes it off the wing, takes a shot off the pipe and in. He made the goalie look like Swiss cheese. I've seen Coupon save more than him. Second period, nobody scores. Third period, they answer. Their defenseman takes a snapshot, and it goes in because it got tipped by one of our players' sticks. I mean, I wasn't expecting that to happen. So now we're in overtime because we're tied. And overtime is like sudden death. So like first team to score wins. So I'm on the post. And number 19 passes it to number 5 so he could get the one-timer into the net. And I wasn't expecting number 19 to pass it to number 5 because he's been the puck hog the whole game. So he passes it to number 5. And then I'm just lunging over trying to save it. But I can't. I look like a fool. It's too late. We lost. But then I remember, the day isn't over. Still have trick-or-treating and Halloween. So I get home, I'm soaked, and I smell like a wet chipmunk. And my mom tells me to take a shower. And I tell her, Mom, do I have to? I'm really tired. And she tells me yes, because it will make you feel better. And even though I knew that was true, and even if she didn't tell me, I would have still done it because, you have to respect your parents. So I'm in the shower thinking about life, thinking about our hockey game, thinking about Halloween, thinking about trick-or-treating, thinking about my costume. So I get out of the shower and I go to sleep. But then an idea hit my head. What if I watch half a season of Futurama and I'll get a dream about it? I mean, who doesn't want to dream with Fry, Leela, Bender, Professor Farnsworth, Dr. Zoidberg? So I watched the last season that they ever made, season 7. The last episode almost made me cry. So I close my computer and I go to sleep. I wake up. It's dark outside. I run over. It's Halloween time. Time to get crazy. I put my costume on. I'm a werewolf. I put my gloves on. I put my mask on. Then I run over and I see the clock. It's 11 p.m. It's too late. What? I didn't get a dream about Futurama. I lost the hockey game. I didn't get a lot of candy last year and nothing this year. What? Why?
That's good.
Oh my gosh, what a goofball. I hope you all enjoyed that story as much as Jayla and I did. Thank you, Milen. So, Jayla, would you ever go back and do storytelling again?
I would definitely go back and do it again.
Cool, that's great to hear. What was the most challenging part?
For me, the hardest part was picking one of my many fabulous stories.
I'm sure you have a treasure trove.
I do.
Stories. And what advice would you have for other storytellers out there?
Some advice for other storytellers is to not rush yourself. Don't ever overthink what you're doing. And to drink some calming tea before performing. It really helps.
Retweet. That's great advice. I love it. I need to drink some more calming tea, like on a regular basis.
It helps. I think we're gonna let this one speak for itself.
Good call.
Here's project member Nicole's story, The Surprise.
So I was making garlic bread with my grandma, who I call Ita, short for abuelita. And my mom comes up to me and she goes, "Hey Nicole, get on your jeans, we're going to the park." So I'm just like, "But I'm making garlic bread with Ita." And she goes, "Yeah, but it's really nice outside. We need to get out of the house. It's gonna be really fun." "But I'm making garlic bread with Ita." Fine. And she goes to the room and she tells my dad. And my dad goes, "When she tells you to do something, You do it. End of story. So I just let them cool down and everything. And I go up to my mom and I say, "Hey Mom, we should do karaoke sometime." "Yeah, okay." "You know, I will destroy you at karaoke. I will sound wonderful and you will sound horrible." "Okay, well, get on your coat and we'll go right now." What did I just do? My mom is the most competitive person on earth. She beats me at board games, video games, racing, anything. Say I was 3 years old and I just learned how to run, she would beat me anyway. So we stop by the store and we get some chips. We get honey barbecue for my dad, we get plain for her, and Cheetos for me. And as we're walking to the karaoke club, I feel more and more nervous. My hands are like shaking and they're sweaty and my heart is pumping. I feel like I'm about to like throw up all of my organs. And when we get there, I feel like I'm about to faint. So when we get into the room, it's dark, it's quite small. There's black leather couches, a coffee table, and a TV. And on the coffee table there was 2 iPads, 2 songbooks, and 2 mics. So my mom picks up one of the mics and looks at me. I'm going first. So I'm just sitting there, waiting really nervously, and then it's my turn. So I just chose a random song, Dangerous Woman by Ariana Grande. I'm pretty into pop. My dad likes R&B. My mom she likes a wide variety. She likes Spanish, and other ones too. And so after a while, I started getting more and more comfortable with it. And when we get a phone call from the people who work there saying, "Listen, you have 10 minutes left. You guys have to go in 10 minutes." We decided to stay for an extra hour. So we're just singing, dancing, eating chips, doing our thing. And then we got another 10-minute phone call. And so I'm just like, "Do you want to go, Mom?" She says no. I ask my dad. He says no. And my mom says, "But we do have a surprise for you." So my dad, like every other dad, starts getting the camera ready to film. And so when they weren't looking, kind of like peered in, and I made out the words from a gray shirt with tissue paper, ANNIE. So I'm just like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to see Annie. I heard it's really good, so I'll just take their word for it." So acting all smug, I'm just sitting there waiting, because I know my surprises ahead. But then my dad gets the camera ready, and my mom says, "You can open it now." So I open up this green bag with red, purple, and orange flowers. And I pull up this gray short sleeve t-shirt, and it had these white and pink letters on it, and I read it. "All jokes aside," which is like our way of saying "I swear." All jokes aside, I'm just looking at my parents. I didn't know what to do. And then my dad goes, "Read it out loud, Nicole." Awesome daughters get promoted to big sister. I was shaking. I felt like I could jump off of a roof. I could go on the highest roller coaster. I felt like I was on top of the world. And that was the best day of my life.
Thanks, Nicole. Awesome story. Moving on to the next one. Take it away, Garrett.
So now we have a different kind of family drama. This one takes place in the middle of summer. Here's Thiana with Lost on the 4th of July.
So last year on 4th of July, me and my family, we went to Pennsylvania to see my uncle. So then that night on 4th of July, we were eating hamburgers and hot dogs, the usual stuff you eat on 4th of July. And then later that night, me, my cousin Joshua, and Joshua's friend Steven, we wanted to go see the fireworks. So then we were asking all the adults to take us to see the fireworks. But then they were like, oh, can you ask that one? And oh, I'm eating this hamburger. Can you ask that one? No one wanted to take us, but Steven's mom volunteered to take us. So then we were so excited, we put on our sweaters and head out. So while we were walking to the park, which was like 10 to 15 minutes, we were at the park, and Joshua was like, oh, I see some fireworks, and ran out. And then Steven was like, I want to see some fireworks too, and ran off with him. So then Steven's mom was like, can you just go get them? So then I was like, all right. So then I ran after them. And I was like, come over here now. But then he was like, but what? I want to go. But I was like, now. So then he come over here. And then I see Steven doing, I don't even know what over there. So then I yank his arm and pull him to me. I was like, what are you thinking running off like that? You could have got lost. So then I said, let's just go back to Steven's mom. So then we ran back to Steven's mom, and when we were there, she wasn't there. So then I got a little scared because she was supposed to be here, and now she's not. It was really freaky. So then I asked Steven's mom, I was asking Steven, where's your mom? And then he was like, I don't know, I wasn't with her. No help at all. So then Joshua said that we should go back to my uncle's house to see if the rest of the adults there. So then I thought it was a smart plan. So then we went back to the house and no one was there. So I started to freak out because they were supposed to be here and now they're not. So then while I was freaking out, I saw a phone on the couch, and when I was looking closer, it was my sister's phone. So then I was like, maybe I should call someone to go and pick us up. So then I got the phone and dialed all the adults' numbers I knew, but no one picked up. Great. But then I remembered that I didn't call my dad. And I know for a fact that my dad always answers his phone. Yeah. So then I dialed his number, and thank God he picked up. So then I told him everything was happening, and he told me that my sister was going to pick us up. So we were so excited, we were jumping up and down, celebrating. So then a few minutes later, my sister burst through the door and ran to us and gave us a big hug. She was like, oh my God, where were you? I was so worried. What happened? But then Steven was like, it was a long story. We'll tell you later. So then we went out the door and went back to the park. So then when we were at the park, we saw all the adults there watching the fireworks, including Steven's mom. So then we ran to her and we were like, where were you? I thought you were waiting for us. So then she was like, I was waiting for you, but then I saw the adults going to the park, so I just followed them. I couldn't even talk to her. So then I just walked past her, and me and my sister went on the swings, and we started swinging. We saw the fireworks, and I was enjoying it. I was relaxing, and I was forgetting everything what happened. All the chaos was happening, and I forgot that I got lost on 4th of July.
So good. Thank you, Thiana, for sharing that story. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you had the chance to do storytelling, would you do it?
I would. I've had to get up and share personal experiences and stuff, and which is why I have so much respect for all of you when you get up and do the storytelling program, because I'm like, I remember talking about like my family and my own experiences and being like, oh gosh, this is like one of the most difficult things that I've ever done. Would you agree that it's a really difficult thing?
Yeah. It's like giving yourself, a part of yourself, to the audience.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's such a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do it. I would just have to maybe have about like a gallon of calming tea before I went in. But yeah, I would totally do it. Thanks for asking that question. And now, believe it or not, it's time for our last story of this episode.
It's time. Our last storyteller is Brandon, a former project member who shared his story called Handling Anxiety featuring Connor. Enjoy.
Tenth grade, sophomore year was the best year. It was when I met my best friend Connor. Before I got to know him, I thought he was a bully, a pushover. I didn't want nothing to do with him. Turns out, he was the complete opposite. He was shy, he was really smart, he was fun and outgoing, but little did I know he had a few problems with anxiety. He would never tell me, but I would always ask him, and he wouldn't talk much about it, and we would just leave it like that. Besides that, we would have so much fun in class. We would prank the teachers, prank each other, imitate the teachers. I would laugh. It was wrong, I know. Junior year was when things started getting harder. Teachers, school, homework. It was the first time I noticed him having a panic attack. It was during earth science class. We were walking up to the roof with a bunch of students. We were walking and we noticed the railing of the stairs split in half, the wood. We immediately thought we're gonna get in trouble, but before we got to leave, the teacher caught us, and the students said, stay right where you are, you're in trouble. The principal came, and I knew I wasn't gonna get in trouble. I didn't do anything, but Connor he was red, he was full of rage. I could tell something bad was gonna happen, and I told him to calm down, but there was no use. He had an outburst, he yelled at the teacher, cursed at them, and walked away. I stood back with the rest of the students, and eventually the 2 students got caught, and I was free to go. After that, I went to look for Connor, but he was still with the principal, and I was alone. Senior year was when orientation began, and I noticed Connor wasn't there, which usually means that your friend isn't going to come back or got kicked out, and I know he didn't get kicked out. I was just wondering what was happening with him and why he wouldn't tell me. And a couple of days later, he came back to school, but he wasn't himself. He was completely blank. He shut everyone out, including me, and no matter how hard I tried to talk to him, he would just not talk back, not talk. He started coming back to school on and off. He would skip a week and eventually not come at all sometimes. I always try to help him, say I'm always here. If you can't talk to me, you can talk to someone else. But a few weeks into senior year, he texted me and said he's leaving school. I don't know what school he's attending. And I was shocked. I had a complete blank expression, what was going to happen. And I replied back, well, if you ever need someone, I'm always here. If you need a friend, and it'll be okay. I said, good luck with everything, and we'll always keep in touch. After that, I realized people come, people go. The important thing is to stay in touch with them, to always talk back. And it may get hard, it may seem rough, it may feel like your world is ending, but things will get better. There'll always be a new day. The sun will always rise. And it'll be fine.
That story was so refreshing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. Thanks, Brandon. Thank you to all the volunteers in storytelling who helped coach the stories that you heard in this episode. So, folks, there you have it.
That's all the time we have this month.
Credits?
Oh, yeah. The project members featured in this month's episode are Brandon, Thiana, Nicole, Milen, Beyonce, and me, Jayla.
The PROJcast theme song was created by Justin and his smart partner Eric March.
And performed by Miranda Anderson, Rebecca, and Nicole.
The music you heard in today's episode was composed for shows here at The Project by Avi Amon.
The PROJcast logo was created by Iris Brown.
Audio assistance from Jonathan Anderson, Avi Amon, and Brian Freeland.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Just search the 52nd Street Project.
The 52nd Street Project is supported by public funds from New York City's Department of Cultural Affairs and New York State Council on the Arts.
The 52nd Street Project is a non-profit organization, and we're able to do what we do because of generous folks like you. Please go to our website, 52project.org/donate, to check out how you can support us.
Every little bit helps.
Thank you for being an awesome co-host, Jayla. I had fun. I hope you did too.
I had an amazing time here. Thanks for having me. And for the fabulous people listening, have a great night.
Yes, have a great night. We will see you next month here on the PROJcast.
See you next month.
Wait.
Nothing rhymes with month. On the 52nd Street PROJcast.